Spiral Dial. Sci-fi with a soundscape.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So you're telling me that I didn't have the faintest idea who you were, Archie said. That's right, Jessica said. Not that you ever showed that much interest in me before, but this was a whole new level of blank. That's just not possible, darling. I don't remember doing the show either. Are you sure I didn't drop some acid just beforehand? Jeff and Dustin keep telling me not to do that, but sometimes you just gotta go with it.
1,
No, Archie, you had no idea who I was until you took your watch off.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Look,
9.
she gestured towards the remains of the device. Oh, that thing, he shuddered. Why didn't you say so? Can't imagine why I ever put it on. Must be a new program, this cycle.
5,
Jessica shook her head.
6.
At least her instincts were correct. You know what's going on, don't you? I keep telling you, darling, riding the wave isn't the same as being the moon. Moons have got absolutely nothing to do with it, unless you're talking about Amy's menstrual cycle, that is. Pregnant again, is she? He yawned. I'm not the father, by the way. They checked it a few cycles ago. Same every time. Always comes out a dud. Jessica wasn't sure what was more maddening, the fact that he obviously knew they were caught in some sort of time loop, or the complete lack of concern for Amy. Why didn't you tell me you were sleeping with her and Ant? You let me fight him, and all the time you were cheating on him. Now, darling, cheating is a very strong word. As you know, I am all about consenting, non-hierarchical relationships. I promise you that the word monogamy has never once crossed my lips. People should really manage their expectations, it saves a lot of trouble down the line. She rolled her eyes. She very much wanted to ask him exactly how the threesome had transpired, not to mention who had done what to whom. While her mind ran through the possibilities, Pyrup cut in. I told you, sister, this one is a waste of space. Ask him about the Earth. Yes, the Earth. She must stay focused, find the radio, call for help, keep Amy alive. 3 clear priorities, and Archie's sex life was not one of them. Oh, and find Morven. She must not forget about Morven. Archie, before you went blank, you told me that the Earth had been flooded. I need to find out where we are. Can you help me to get to the ship's radio? He pursed his lips, emitting a long, low whistle. Radio, eh? What would you want with a radio? To communicate, to call for help. And where do you think help is coming from if the Earth is flooded? I don't know, but I need to find out. There must be some way of confirming where we are. These watches, they lie, Archie. We need to find some way of knowing for sure what's going on. Will you help me? He licked the cigarette paper, finishing the joint before jumping to his feet. Sure, I'll help. One condition. You do the donkey work, I smoke the joint. Deal? Deal. They shook on it. Better be quick. The captain will be back in the office by midnight at the latest. We have to be in and out before then. He handed her a hooded robe. Put this on. They'll all think that you're one of the band. They made their way out onto the stage. Most of the hammocks were still occupied, although a few elderly women were starting to emerge from their cocoons. A couple of them grasped Jessica's robe as she passed, nearly pulling it off, but she reacted in time to prevent her cover being blown. Outside the hall, she breathed a sigh of relief, but Archie pressed his fingers to her lips, beckoning upwards. She remembered the way from her previous trip to the captain's lair. Up and up the velvet-clad steps they went, their footsteps sinking soundless into the thick carpet, until they stood before the giant wooden doors, which slid open with a mere wave of Archie's hand. A giant ammonite lay before them. Archie waved the doors shut, sat back in the padded chair Jessica remembered only too well, and lit his joint. He took a long drag. There. That's better. Aren't you going to help? We had a deal, didn't we? You do the donkey work. I smoke the joint. I'll give you a clue, though. There's no compass. It's all computerized. She crossed the room until she stood behind the opposite spiral of the ammonite. What had happened last time she was here? She placed her hand on there once more. This time a warm sensation flooded through her hand before the whole desk came to life. Each section of the ammonite was labelled with a different name, all arranged in alphabetical order. She scrolled along the list to R, and there it was. Radio. Could it really be that easy? Get a move on, sister. I cannot hold it open forever. Of course, pyro. She must somehow have penetrated the ammonite. She tapped on it and was presented with the most exhaustive list of radio stations she had ever seen. A lot of them were familiar. It looked like they might be within striking distance of London after all. She tapped on Magic FM for old time's sake, and the familiar strains of Careless Whisper flooded through the office. Not her favourite, but still reassuring. How could the earth be underwater if Magic FM was still operational? Next step, to broadcast for help. She remembered this from her army training. She must broadcast on channel 16. She switched the radio to manual frequency control. Listen first, then broadcast. As soon as she selected the channel, a panicked voice filled her ears.
Mayday! 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 This is the London Coast Guard. I repeat, London Coast Guard. London Coast Guard. We are swamped. I repeat, we are swamped. No people remain at this base. Retreat to higher ground. Over and out.